Hello friends, my name is Cindy and I am one of the children's librarians at Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine. And today we're going to read part 3 of Book Uncle and Me by Uma Krishnaswami. Are you ready for more Book Uncle and Me fun? Chapter 12, Trapped by Words. I am more than shocked. I am flabbergasted, which means stunned, staggered, astonished. When Renee is done crying and her eyes and nose have turned all red from it, she tells me, "My daddy's lost his job, so he's going to stay home now, and Mummy's working extra hours at the TV station." Lost his job? That's what I just said, Renee says. I try to make sense of it. Arvind, Uncle, has lost his job? I know what that means, of course, and it is not good. It is an odd way to say it, I think. It sounds as if you just misplaced the job. Woke up one morning not remembering where you left it or something. When you lose a job, they ask you to leave and not come back, like Book Uncle and his lending library. Mummy's getting headaches from working too hard, Renee says, and to make things worse, she used to do the bookkeeping for the Horizon Apartment Flats Association, and Daddy says he'll do that now to help out. So that's good, I say, isn't it? No, wails Renee. It's horrible. They fight all the time about invoices and bills and why the maintenance company got overpaid 3 years ago. Oh, that sounds bad. And when I try to stop them, Renee says, they say, "Go to your room. Stay out of this, Renee." They say, "You won't understand," they say. Renee's words trap me in their net, so I am speechless. Now I know why I hurt her when I wouldn't talk to her on the bus. When I said, "Oh, how I wish I could take back the thing I said and grind it into little pieces and throw it away. Don't you know anything? How could I say that to my best friend?" Chapter 13, No Book. I managed to get through most of the school day until the afternoon. Mrs. Rao says, "Take out your books for silent reading time." And I am frozen. Around me, everyone is getting books, from book bags, desks, from piles behind Mrs. Rao's desk, from the bookshelf in the back of the class. I cannot move. I want to run and get something to read too, but I can't. "You don't have a book, Yasmin?" asks Mrs. Rao. "No," I mumble. "Get one from the shelf," she says. "Come on, hurry. I know what an enthusiastic reader you are." I try to pick a book off the classroom bookshelf. I can't. I stare at the spines of books marching along the shelf. They blur into a stream of colors and letters. I can't pick one. I can't choose. This has never happened to me before. "Yasmin," says Mrs. Rao. I'm the one who tells others about books I've read. Wappa calls me the world's biggest book fan. I'm the one who reads one book a day and will do so forever. What is stopping me now? I stick out my hand and grab a book off the shelf, any book. I go back to my desk. I open the book. The words float together and I cannot read. Someone has to do something about this bad news crashing on us all at once. Renee's father's job, Book Uncle's pink paper. Someone has to do something. Chapter 14, Riddles. The afternoon goes by, and I am getting more and more confused. When I get home, I try not to look at the corner of St. Mary's Road and First Cross Street, because I know how empty it will be. I do look, and it's worse, much worse than I imagined. No book, Uncle, no books. It makes my heart hurt. I do my homework. Then I walk around the house. I try to read the karate book, but the words swim before my eyes. There will be no new book tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. My dream of one book a day has gone down the drain. "Yasmin, come and have dinner," says Uma. "Chicken biryani with lime pickle." I love biryani, but today, not even chicken biryani with lime pickle will help. I circle the dining table, circle it again. I can't make myself sit down. "Yasmin," Wappa says, "why are you prowling around like a tiger in a cage?" I fall into my chair, and it all comes spilling out. I tell them about Renee's father losing his job and her parents fighting, and how bad I feel about being mean to Renee, and what can I possibly do now? They look at each other. "Oh dear," Uma says. "Oh dear? Is that all?" Sometimes grown-ups can be very disappointing. Wappa makes a cocoon with his hands. He rests his chin on top of it and looks at his biryani. As the peer says, He begins, ever since he did some research and discovered that we are distantly related to an 18th century Tamil Sufi saint. Very distantly, Uma says. Wapa deals with all challenges, big and small, by trying to channel Pir Baba. I groan. Yasmin, Uma warns. She turns to my father as if she really wants to know what the Pir says. Wapa puts on his best Pir-talking look. Pir Baba says, a loving disposition towards one's neighbor lightens the heart as wings. How about that, my Minu? I give up. Why do grown-ups always speak in riddles? Go to sleep early today, Uma says, because you know who will be here at the break of day. Nadira, Wapa says to Uma, but he's looking at me. What? Says Uma. You think Yasmin doesn't know your big brother is a bully and a petty tyrant and wants us all to go live in the village and doesn't like the fact that I have a college degree? Wapa sighs and rubs his forehead. I can see he already has a headache coming on. I go to sleep that night and dream of the doves in Book Uncle's book. Caught in a net, the doves all fly up in the air together. They carry the net with them. And the hunter? Well, he runs on the ground as fast as he can, but he can't catch up with them, so after a while, he stops trying. In the end, the doves find a safe place to land. They ask a friendly mole to chew through the net so they can wriggle free. And here's a picture of her dream. I wake up and find that my teeth are chewing away on nothing. This is not a good feeling, because what is the use of busy teeth when your mouth is empty? Chapter 15. Not bad? Thud, thump, crash. That is more than the day breaking. It is Rafiq Uncle. I run out of my room to see what's going on. Rafiq Uncle's baggage, it seems, got dropped on the floor. That's why he is now yelling at the Eastry lady's son, Selvaraj. What do you think? This is a sack of onions? That suitcase costs money, my boy, money. Selvaraj is straightening up the suitcase and trying to dust it off. He is trying to say it was a mistake and he is sorry, but no one can get a word in once Uncle Rafiq gets going. Oh, Yasmin, is it? Rafiq Uncle says, turning his attention to me. Selvaraj makes a quick getaway, grabbing the rupee notes that Uma slips him to make up for my uncle's rudeness. Wapa takes my big brother's bags into the extra bedroom. Takes his big brother's bags into the extra bedroom. Uma puts out breakfast. I get a lecture on the evils of living in the big city. Uma has made putu for breakfast, which I love, love, love for its grated coconut and the soft steamed morsels of rice that melt in your mouth. We eat for a while, in grateful silence. Even Rafiq Uncle is silenced by the dreaminess of that putu. Soon the big plate is down to one last piece. Rafiq Uncle and I both stretch out our hands at the same time. I meet his eyes. He opens his mouth. You have it, Uncle, I say quickly. I have to go to school. He snaps his lips shut, as if he is disappointed that he can't scold me for being greedy. As I put my plate in the sink and wash my hands, I hear him saying through his last mouth of putu, Not bad, Nadira, not bad at all. Not bad? My Uma makes the best putu in the whole world. Now I wish I had grabbed that last piece. Rafiq Uncle doesn't deserve it. Chapter 16. 10 whole words. I am hurrying down the stairs, happy to be away from my bad-tempered uncle. I'm almost all the way to the ground floor when I hear someone huffing and puffing up the stairwell. It is Chinna Abdul Sahib of 2B. He's carrying a big box. He's breathing heavily. He's rounding the corner, and now we are face to face. Oh no, the box slips. I grab at it double quick so it doesn't fall. It is heavy. I brace myself so I can hold it up. It would be terrible if I let it fall. From his face, I am sure it contains something very precious, possibly a drum. Chinna Abdul Sahib nods twice. I take that to mean, thank you, and will you help me carry this box? Funny how I know exactly what he means, even when he says nothing, while my uncle uses 100 words, and I can't find much meaning in anything he says. I hold one end of the box with my 2 hands. Chinna Abdul Sahib holds the other end. I walk up the stairs backwards, and he comes after me, step by step by step. There, we put the box down carefully outside 2B. Then Chinna Abdul Sahib pulls out a bunch of jingly keys and opens his door. I help him lift the box over the threshold and place it on the floor. Is that one of your drums? I ask. He scratches his beard. He stares at the wall. Then, "You want to see?" he asks. You could knock me down with a feather, which means that I'm very surprised. In all the time that I have seen Chinna Abdul Sahib coming and going, I don't think I have ever heard him speak a single word. He opens up the box. I take a peek. I was right. It is a drum, a giant pot drum. What's that? I point to the shiny flecks showing through the clay. Brass, he says, for a ringing sound. They make this clay pot with bits of brass? This is one thing I have never come across in a book. He knocks on the pot with his knuckle. It rings, it sings, it has a voice all its own. I can see why Chinna Abdul Sahib does not need to say much. His Gautam does all the talking. A clock strikes from somewhere inside the flat. 8 o'clock. I have to go, I say. I don't want to miss my bus. Very kind of you, he calls after me, to help me with my drum. That is 10 whole words he's used up just for me. Chapter 17, Number Problems. After school, Anil gets off the bus with me at Horizon Apartment Flats. His mother has a meeting, so she can't be home when he gets back from school. His auntie, who lives with them, has gone out of town for a few days. Anil does not think he needs a grown-up around to keep an eye on him, but his mother disagrees. So here he is, coming home with me, where Uma is in charge. I have an idea, I tell Anil. What? I am all ready to throw our bags down and get a snack and then head out of the flat to carry out my great idea, which is all about being someone and doing something. Uma insists, homework first. We get to work. We have no choice. Soon there is no sound from us but rustling pages and scratching pencils. We finish our history homework, then Hindi. We finish reading our Hindi pages, and then we have to answer questions about them. I decide that I like Hindi with its lines on top, so the letters hang down like rows of election campaign flags. My lines and strokes don't always come out even, but I like doing them anyway. Anil is wriggly, but soon he says he's done too. That leaves a page of number problems between us and my plan. Ready? We work on these together. There is no sign between the numbers. Plus, minus, times, multiplication. We have to fill them in. Go, says Anil. 50? 32 equals 18. Minus, I say. Anil, your turn. 88? 22 equals 110. Times, Anil says. No, pay attention. I am paying attention. He looks again. Oh, plus. Back and forth we go. Anil gets a few wrong and then a few more. Sometimes he seems to make wild guesses. Maybe he's just fed up. I know the feeling. Then, hooray, we get to the end of the number problems. Want to go downstairs, I say? Hi-ya, says Anil, leaping up in joy. We tell Uma we're going out. Come back before it gets dark, she says. Okay, Uma, I say. Okay, Auntie, Anil says. Uma hugs us both at the door, which makes Anil do a quick block punch. Be careful, warrior, Anil, says Uma, and he grins. Anil wants to know what we are going to do. Wait, I tell him. Just wait. Are you going to call Rini, he says. I nod. Yes, that's part of the plan. Chapter 18, A Delegation. We stop at 3B. We invite Rini along, and she says, yes, she'll come, and we are 3 again. Rini has brought us our sticky tamarind sweets. We pucker our lips over their mouth-watering sourness. Our flippy-floppy chapals slip-slap down the stairs and into the compound under the coconut palm and the frangipani tree that drops its pink and white flowers on top of the Istri lady's booth. What's chasing you, chickens? She demands. Do you know where Book Uncle lives? I ask. She throws her head back and laughs out loud before whirling around to spit a stream of betel and tobacco juice at the ground behind her. She turns back to us with a red-toothed grin. Wappa says that stuff can kill you. I don't see the Istri lady ready to fall over yet. I know where everyone lives, she says. Then she bellows, Selvaraj. Her son runs back from the corner tea shop where he's been chatting with the auto rickshaw drivers. He rushes to a smart stop like a soldier reporting to his commanding officer. Selvaraj takes over the ironing booth, and the Istri lady marches us down the road and left at the petrol bunk. Past Celebration Suites and the La 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 restaurant, past the Mercury Medical's lab and pharmacy, 3 doctor's offices, a dentist, and a phone repair shop, which is also a phone, fax, internet copy place. All the way past blocks and blocks of houses and apartments we go, to a tiny little house that has almost disappeared under the leaning down branches of a giant mango tree. I knock on the door. We wait. Shuffling noises sound from inside the tiny house. Then, goodness me! Book Uncle opens the door. His eyes blink at us from behind his fat glasses. A delegation! What a surprise! Come in, come in. The house is so small that when the Istri lady and Reenie and Anil and I step inside, we fill it up. There isn't only enough room for Book Uncle, the 4 of us, and the shelves and shelves of books. What a lot of books! Hundreds and hundreds of them. Boxes of books are stacked on the floor with just enough room for a person to walk around and between them. The book smell in the air turns me dizzy with joy. When I grow up, I will line all the walls of my house with books just like this. And that is the end of part 3 of Book Uncle and Me by Uma Krishnaswami. And tomorrow we will read more. I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun reading to you. My name is Cindy. I am one of the children's librarians at Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine, and I will look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye-bye, friends.